Liam asked once things had settled down. Kyle had gone back behind the bar and was now pulling Hayden's beer from the tap.
"Do Mom and Dad know you're here?"
Hayden looked at Liam.
"Because I wanted to surprise everyone."
Then he looked at Kyle.
"And no, Mom and Dad don't know."
Hayden took his glass from Kyle and immediately sipped the beer, closing his eyes as the distinct wheat flavor his father had crafted brought him fully and completely home. Kyle leaned on the bar.
"Mom is going to be beside herself."
He slapped the bar top.
"Now this is a party."
Cam, who'd been Hayden's closest friend since elementary school, sat back down on a stool and gestured for Hayden to sit next to him.
"Tell us all about France. Still hooking up with that French hottie?"
Leave it to Cam to ask about Hayden's love life first and foremost. He'd transformed hooking up into an art form.
"France is good, but it's nice to be back."
He should tell them about the job he'd been offered. Assistant winemaker at the winery where he'd been interning the past year. The winery owned by his hookup's father. But he didn't want to bring it up tonight. He wanted to drink Archer beer and settle back into the only home he'd ever known. Liam clapped his hand at the back of Hayden's neck and gave him a firm clasp.
"It's good to have you here."
Hayden peered at him, his brow arched.
"I can't believe you're here, too. Permanently."
Liam had moved to Denver after college and become a successful real estate developer. He'd never planned on returning to Ribbon Ridge.
"What the hell happened?"
Everyone laughed and Liam shrugged.
"What can I say? The woman I fell in love with is a die-hard Ribbon Ridger."
Hayden knew Liam's fiancée. Aubrey Tallinger had been their brother Alex's attorney. She'd set up and now administered Alex's trust, which had funded everything around them. Before his death, Alex had used his trust fund to buy a dilapidated monastery and left instructions for all of his siblings to return to Ribbon Ridge and renovate it into a premier hotel and restaurant. Everyone had a designated job. Tori had been the architect, Sarah was the event planner, Kyle was the chef, Evan was supposed to do the technology, but was instead the creative director, and Liam was now handling all of the development aspects and apparently overseeing the hotel management. There wasn't really a job left for Hayden, which was fine, since he planned to make wine. He was done serving the family businesses.
"I suppose Alex got what he wanted,"
Hayden said. Kyle nodded.
"Yep, now that you're here."
Except Hayden didn't know if his move was permanent, like Liam's. The opportunity in France was amazing, making wine alongside one of the best winemakers in the world. After that, Hayden could probably take his pick of wineries to work for back here. Or maybe he could start his own label. Dylan leaned his head around his half-brother.
"What hottie was Cam talking about?"
Hayden took another drink of beer, unsurprised that he was almost ready for another. He'd missed his family in his hometown, but damn, he'd missed their beer nearly as much.
"No one, really. She works at the winery."
Aside from her father owning it, Gabrielle was also the event manager. She was up to her eyeballs in weddings all summer long. Not that he would have invited her to come here with him. Their relationship, which was not the right word, was extremely casual. He knew she saw other guys, and the only reason he didn't see anyone else was because he didn't have time. Hayden was more than ready to change the subject.
"Speaking of women, where are the strippers? Isn't this supposed to be a bachelor party?"
He didn't really expect there to be strippers, but it effectively diverted the topic away from France.
"No strippers,"
Evan said, shaking his head.
"The girls are only over at the Ridgeview."
The Ridgeview was a special event venue that Sarah had designed and had been the site of Derek and Chloe's wedding last summer. Hayden looked around the pub again.
"Where's Derek?"
Kyle frowned.
"We sent him over to the restaurant to get another couple bottles of tequila. That was a while ago, though." "Should we send a search party?" Cam asked. Liam chuckled as he finished off his beer. "Nope. My money's on him going for a booty call."
Liam slid his empty glass over to Kyle for a refill.
"Come on, like you guys haven't thought of doing that."
He looked pointedly at Kyle and then Evan. Evan scowled at his beer.
"I actually hadn't thought of it." "Damn."
Kyle grinned.
"Sure, but I didn't act on it."
His gaze fixed on the back corner of the pub.
"Ah, here comes our guilty brother now."
Derek wasn't actually their brother, but had come to live with them at 17 when his mother had died of a brain tumor. He was also Kyle's best friend, except for the years they hadn't spoken following Kyle's departure from Ribbon Ridge due to trouble stemming from his gambling addiction. Derek walked past the table of card players and came toward the bar, a bottle of tequila in each hand.